Let me say something most men never hear directly, and I'm not going to soften it, because attraction doesn't respond to comfort. It responds to truth. When a man looks at a woman, his perception doesn't begin with manners, morality, or social rules. It begins in the body. And yes, that includes her chest, her curves, her physical presence. Not because he's disrespectful, not because he's immature, not because he lacks self-control, but because the male nervous system is biologically wired to notice specific visual signals before thought even appears. Pretending this doesn't exist isn't being evolved. It's being dishonest. And here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. Women already know this. They are not testing whether you notice. They are testing how you relate to what you notice. Do you panic? Do you apologize internally? Do you rush to cover it with politeness? Do you disconnect from your own instincts to appear safe? Because the moment you do that, something breaks. Not respect, attraction. Most men don't lose women because they're rude. They lose women because they betray themselves. The second you try to sanitize desire, the second you replace presence with politeness, the second you turn instinct into guilt, you signal internal conflict. And women feel that conflict instantly, not consciously, not logically, but somatically, in the body. She doesn't think, he looked. She feels, this man isn't at ease with himself. And a man who isn't at ease with himself cannot be desired. Here's an uncomfortable truth most men never confront. They believe attraction is something you earn. They believe if they're kind enough, attentive enough, emotionally available enough, consistent enough, desire will appear as a reward. That belief is exactly why attraction dies, because desire does not operate on fairness. It does not respond to effort. It does not emerge from explanation. Desire is not a contract. It is visceral, automatic, pre-verbal, unconscious. By the time a woman explains why she feels something, her body already decided long before her mind caught up. And this is where men fail. They keep speaking to logic. While attraction lives in the nervous system, you can be everything right and still feel her slipping away without knowing why. Let's make a crucial distinction. Respect and desire are not the same. You can earn respect through reliability, through emotional maturity, through moral alignment. But desire does not respond to those variables in the beginning. Desire responds to tension, to polarity, to contrast. And when those elements are missing, attraction never fully ignites. This is why so many men end up confused. They listen, they reassure, they clarify intentions, they remove uncertainty. And in doing so, they remove the very conditions that desire needs to exist. Because desire needs space, it needs ambiguity, it needs the possibility of loss. When everything is predictable, safe, explained, and guaranteed, the nervous system relaxes. And relaxed systems do not crave. Comfort feels good, but comfort doesn't create hunger. Now let's talk about availability, because this is where most men destroy attraction without realizing it. Availability is often confused with generosity, but psychologically, availability signals something else. When you are always reachable, always adjusting your schedule, always prioritizing her time over yours, always responding instantly, you are not signaling devotion. You are signaling low scarcity. And the human brain assigns value based on scarcity. This isn't cultural conditioning. It's neurological wiring. What is rare feels valuable. What is abundant becomes invisible. When your attention has no weight, it stops activating her nervous system. Her rational mind may appreciate you. Her body disengages. Because appreciation is not attraction. Another hard truth. Predictability is calming. But calm is not arousing. At least not at the start. Early attraction feeds on stimulation, not safety. When every interaction follows the same emotional rhythm, the nervous system stops responding. You don't become offensive. You don't become unattractive. You become neutral. And neutrality kills attraction faster than rejection. Most men aren't rejected. They're slowly forgotten. This is where masculinity is deeply misunderstood. Masculinity is not aggression. It's not dominance. It's not force. Masculinity is grounded presence, the ability to stand inside your impulses without collapsing into guilt, the ability to feel desire without apologizing for it, the ability to be interested without chasing. When a man notices a woman's body and immediately compensates with politeness, over niceness, or emotional availability, he signals internal division. And women sense that instantly, not as judgment, as lack of self-ease. and lack of selfies is deeply unattractive. Let's go deeper. Attachment dynamics play a massive role here. When a man pursues anxiously, seeking reassurance, over-explaining intentions, trying to eliminate uncertainty, he often activates avoidance in the other person, even in women who aren't naturally avoidant. Because desire requires freedom, it requires the ability to move toward something, not be crowded by it. When there is no space, desire suffocates. You don't lose attraction by wanting connection. You lose it by needing validation. Neediness is not about closeness. It's about emotional dependence. And the moment a woman feels responsible for your emotional stability, something shuts down, not because she's cruel, but because biologically, need signals weakness. A man who needs to be chosen cannot be desired. Desire flows toward strength, not dependence. Another mechanism most men underestimate is social positioning. Women are highly sensitive to how a man exists in the world. Not money, not status titles, but desirability. A man who is engaged in life, who has social gravity, who moves comfortably among others, is filtered as higher value automatically. This isn't jealousy, it's neurological efficiency. If others respond to him, he likely carries something worth noticing. Now compare that to a man who emotionally collapses his world around one woman. His routines shrink, his interests fade, his life narrows, and her attraction narrows with it. Because desire does not grow in small containers, attraction expands in space. It dies in confinement. The solution is not manipulation, it's alignment. There is a massive difference between pretending to be busy and actually having a life, between delaying replies as a tactic and responding when you genuinely have time, between acting indifferent and being internally centered. Women detect the difference instantly. Authenticity matters, not moral authenticity, energetic authenticity. Here, what genuine masculine alignment looks like. You don't abandon your plans for last-minute changes, not to punish, but because your time matters. You don't over-explain, because your attention isn't surplus. You express interest clearly without begging. I'd like to see you again. Not, tell me when you're free, I'll adjust. You're comfortable with silence. Pauses don't threaten you. You lead interactions instead of interviewing. You can tease lightly without fear. You can disagree without tension. Sometimes you end conversations first, not as a tactic, but because you have somewhere to go. Each of these behaviors communicates the same thing. This man is self-contained, and self-containment is magnetic. Let's dismantle the final illusion. Many men believe if they just explain themselves better, attraction will appear. It won't. Attraction does not need explanation. It needs embodiment. You cannot talk your way into desire. You can only position yourself in a way that allows it to emerge. Desire is not negotiated. It is triggered. It does not respond to moral effort. It responds to psychological signals: scarcity, contrast, presence, self-possession, social gravity. None of this requires manipulation. It requires honesty with yourself. If you suppress instincts, you leak insecurity. If you chase validation, you signal need. If you abandon your life for approval, attraction dies. The paradox is simple. The more complete your life becomes, the less you need desire, and the less you need it, the more often it appears. Reflect on this. Where have you over-explained? Where have you over-invested? Where have you replaced presence with politeness? That's where the shift begins. And that shift has nothing to do with women. It has everything to do with you.